It's a film, it's a story about how in different ages, we're talking about a group of people, have been affected by this in their biography, in their life. I don't want to judge anybody, but there is a common sense of how the unification, the East becoming West, is being told, you know, as a story of freedom, of democracy, of well, the ending of a dictatorship. But there's much more to it. It's not about good or bad, about judging, but there's more of it. There's more about people, families, lives, work that has been well stopped, you know. So these stories have to also be told to understand something that's maybe happening now in our society. I wanted to focus on the community that these workers form among themselves, and in that community, no customer plays any role. This is not important. And the most important thing for me is when the shift turns into night, when the customer's hours are ended, but the work is not ended, but the light's been dimmed because what? It's too expensive. And then they work in these yeah, almost dark aisles, and you can hear somebody from it. It's just it's a matter of atmosphere also. That was in the script, that we have kind of a ballet of the machines, and we wanted to hear waltz from the ceiling, you know. And then I shot that, and of course, during preparation, it came to my mind, of course, yeah, there is some reference to 2001, and I almost thought, can I do that? Is it okay? Because to kind of make a remake of that, it's almost impossible, because it's such a big and important piece in film history, you know, to play a reference to that. But then I thought the world that I'm portraying is so far away from the science fiction world of Kubrick, then I thought, then it's okay again. And then I forgot all about that, and when there was the premiere in Berlinale, then critics and audience kind of reminded me of that, and I was like, oh yeah, right, there was something, but I completely was in my world, and I didn't think of any references anymore during post-production. I tried to, on an emotional basis, to all the machinery, the forklifts, the other things, they're kind of, they have a life within themselves. They kind of resemble, through Christian, or when Christian's sitting on the machines, how he feels. It's rather cold machines on the first glance, you know. But then in the story, it's kind of a well, an animal, some kind of a thing which takes place and really communicates to and through these characters. That kind of idea, I like that. I believe in that, and I'm trying to display that. I think they are the love, friendship, companionship, community are the only and last things that you can refer to, even if you are in a situation as the characters are. I think this is the answer that humanity can give. This is our only answer as mankind, I believe, and I think that's the core idea in the answer. I'm always interested in such exotic things as a freedom in dictatorship, laughter in prison. You know, I'm sure this is like living day by day, living hour by hour. This is how I believe people go through their lives in general. You always think you have to be positive and optimistic, otherwise, in a sort of way, otherwise you cannot go on with your life. I think that Rudy, Bruno, and all the other guys, and that's what I'm trying to display, have kind of formed their routine, you maybe say, but also their community, their jokes, their codes, which people from the outside don't understand at the beginning, like Christian, and their laughter. They have their Christmas party, which from the outside may look sad, but how do we know? Well, timing is again, is probably the most important thing. Timing, Timing says you, something can happen or cannot happen, right? Timing also means you have the wrong timing and then it doesn't work. So I think, I have the feeling that the timing grows better and better for Christian and Marion, you know. I had a very atmospheric idea of this wholesale market, but of course there wasn't enough money to build a whole wholesale market. And even if we had the money to put that in a studio, where would all the goods come from? Then again, we thought about extending aisles and through green screen. But then I said, no, let's don't do that. It would not create such a natural feeling that I was looking for. It would be too superficial somehow. I found a chain which is not very big, and we didn't shoot in one, but in two wholesale markets, which we put together to make the wholesale market in the film look even more bigger and more labyrinthic, and you, as an audience, you cannot find your way. And a third part was the backside of a abandoned big furniture store. This reference Sisyphus and other references during script writing process, I think of Sisyphus as a hero somehow, so as a hero story, you know. And I do not have any heroes in that story. It's more of kind of a Sisyphus community. Again, I think that's how life is, and if everybody is honest to themselves, I could think that everybody could find a Sisyphus in themselves. So it's about don't we get crazy about this? How do we carry on with our lives?